Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And we are live. We'll get into it, but I was going to do a video yesterday, campaign update video. And as I put out, I did a little quick short from my phone, basically that I had no internet yesterday, the entire day. Xfinity was down, and it was a planned outage. We were having issues in this area, and so, hey, what's up, man? And so we knew that they had to do some maintenance, but we didn't know it was going to take all goddamn day. So, yeah. How's it going, Mr. Menor? I have a story. I just went to the state liquor store and bought some of the Hofbrau beer that you get, in Vegas at the Hofbrau House. And holy shit. I get up to the register. I didn't even look at the prices. I just grabbed a 6-pack of this and a 6-pack of the Oktoberfest. Oh, that's the same one. And a 6-pack of the Spot and Oktoberfest. And I'm like, because for some reason, that's the only Oktoberfest beer, even though it's Oktoberfest time, that's the only one I could find. So I just grabbed a 6-pack of each, and then I looked around and everything. I go up to the register, brings up 2 6-packs. That'll be $38.70. 2 6-packs. This shit is $4 a bottle. And of course, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm already up here. I just paid it. I was like, if I had seen that, like if I'd actually looked at the prices before putting it in my cart, I would have been like, oh, hell no, I ain't paying that. Because the other ones, the Oktoberfest ones, these are only $2 a bottle. So it's half the price. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was today's excursion out, trying to find some decent beer, because it's getting ready. We're now starting to head down. We finally got out of the 100-degree temperatures, and it's already down into the 60s. We went from the hundreds to the 60s. No real days of any like nice, pleasant 78, 80. No, none of that. No. We go hundreds to the 60s, and then soon it'll be the 40s. And so it's time to start doing stock up for the winter time in case it, big snowstorms and shit like that. Don't have to worry about going anywhere. Just so I stock up. So, anyway, this live is going to be, we're going to talk about our campaign update from our D&D campaign back here. I haven't done a live in a long time, so we're going to get caught up on a few different things here. We're going to talk about, unfortunately, we're going to talk about my Raiders. Yeah, they should not have lost that game. Season opener, no reason they should have lost that, but they did. So, yeah, as we are to expect, if they're going to, hey, 8-Bit Bill's here. If the Raiders are going to be playoff material, which I think they are, they're always the late season bloomers where they turn it on, and just kind of squeak into the playoffs, and I have the same feeling it's going to do the same thing again. So, Lindis Jones is here. Hey, Lindis. Long snappers are severely important. Ask the Bengals. That is one of the craziest fucking games I have seen in a very long time. That game was wild, and I watched the whole thing wire to wire. I'm so glad I did, because there's about 4 or 5 times where the Bengals absolutely had the game in the bag. They were done. Game over. Pittsburgh should have been done, but they made sure to do everything they could to fuck that up. So anyway, we'll have one of these $4 beers here. It's good, but it ain't $4 a piece good. Holy shit. I got hosed on that deal. Yeah. In case you guys that came in late, Linda's 8-bit, if you didn't see earlier, because you just came in, yeah, I bought 2 6-packs at our state liquor store. The Oktoberfest beer and then that Hofbrau, $38 for two 6-packs. The one was $4 a bottle because everything in Utah at the state liquor store is bought by the bottle. You pay per bottle prices, and so these little bastards. And by the way, there's a reason I'm calling them little bastards because I got screwed again because I didn't pay attention. So these are $4 a piece. So, and they're only 11.2 fluid ounces. They're not 12 full ounces. Hey, Chupa. So yeah, it's ridiculous. So the moral of the story is, if you ever come to Utah, if you go to the state liquor store, you gotta realize everything's per bottle prices, and there's a lot of taxes and everything else. You can get some beer at the grocery stores and stuff like that, as long as I think it's 5% or less alcohol by volume you can get in the stores. And then if it's above that, you got to go to the state liquor store, and that's where they screw you. So yeah, if you guys come to Utah, you got to come and play D&D. Yeah, that's good stuff, but I would not have, if I'd have seen that price, I had it before, if I had paid attention. And if I would have seen it was 11.2 ounce bottles instead of 12 ounce bottles, I would have told him to kiss my ass. I would have just bought something different, or I would have just got 2 6-packs of the Oktoberfest, because these, if I remember, are actual 12 ounce. I should have got 2 6 because this was only $2 a bottle. So Linda says, "Are those kiss dolls behind you? Are you just now noticing that, Linda's? They've been there. They've been there They've never moved. If you're talking about over here, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you know I've got a kiss tattoo, right? So I'm sure you knew that, right? This is it, Mistra. um, yeah, I didn't have internet all day yesterday, and then today I forgot. My wife was off today. This was her day off, so we went out and we had a whole bunch of shit that we wanted to do today. So I decided, well, when I get back, I'm just going to do a live. We'll talk about it. We'll do the campaign update while we're doing a live. Um, so we got 6 people in here. So let's do the campaign update, because I haven't done one since before I went on vacation, and we are going to talk a little bit about my vacation. I'm gonna go over some of the stuff we did and all that. If you guys are interested in that, because it was a fun trip. So, but where we left off in the campaign, if you remember, we were up there. Our barbarian, her tribe was up there, and they had sent some type of a message or something to her, basically saying that there was some concern in the area about these towers that were popping up, that had like goblins and stuff in them, and for whatever reason, that it was of note that we might want to check it out. So we had gone, and sure enough, we had gone to check these out, and as we approached the one tower, this is the last session, the previous session, we got attacked by a bunch of these little goblin things, but also something called a black troll, which is a different variation of troll. And they can only be harmed by silver weapons, it turns out. and they regenerate very quickly. So that ended that session, and then we took up this last Friday. We were going to go someplace and have some silver weapons made, which we did. So we went to this town, and we found a guy named Carlon Slate Cleft, who was the weaponsmith, and he made us some silver weapons, silver maces, and somebody had told us, I think it was one of her tribesmen, one of our barbarians tribesmen said, "Hey, you want to use uh, blunt weapons on those trolls? They do more damage than the edged weapons, or they don't heal as quickly." And so we had to make a bunch of maces and stuff like that. And then we start heading back. And of course, it was a couple days ride or whatever, so we had to camp, and there were some random encounters. The first one was a Trent, which was a friendly encounter. The Trent merely just inspected our camp and everything and just kept on going, waved at us and basically said, "Hey, you know," gave us the forest greeting or whatever Trents do, and kept on going. So that was a friendly one. But our second one was not as actually there was three. It looks like the second one the was not a friendly encounter. We encountered a random encounter with bugbears. Now we're fairly high level, level 8, level 9, somewhere in there, depending upon which character it is. And bugbears, not that big of a deal, unless the guy who the DM says, "Hey, roll," I think it was 6d6. He says, "Roll 6d6." We don't know why. Turns out he was rolling, Jonathan was rolling, was the number of the encounter, the random number of how many bugbears we were going to encounter. He rolled 6d6, all sixes. We encountered 36 bugbears. What are the I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but there's got to be, I don't know what the odds of with six-sided dice rolling it and getting all sixes. That's got to be astronomical odds. But anyway, so we had to fight 36 bugbears. Now the Jonathan, who rolled for the number of bugbears, he's also our magic user, so he decided to fireball, and he took out 5 of them, and some of them were also damaged from the fireball too. And we were smart. The rest of the party basically scattered amongst the trees and trying to obscure ourselves because of how many of these things there were. And what that did was it split the remaining ones evenly amongst us throughout the forest, where each one of us had like 3 or 4 of them on us or whatever. And luckily, because we're higher level, our armor class is decent to a point where they were having a hard time hitting us. And through attrition, we eventually were able to take them all out. We did take some damage and so forth, but it was still 36 bugbears is a lot. and the fact that, who rolls, all sixes on 6d6, Then, as we continued on, the next random encounter was we ran into owl bears. One of everybody's favorite classic D&D monsters. And the random number there was 5. Now, owl bears are a lot tougher than bugbears. 5 is a problem. Luckily, with the magic user, we encountered them around the campfire. They came close enough to us to the campfire where he could use fire charm, which basically mesmerizes them if they fail their saving throw, and they become mesmerized by the fire. And I forget how many of, I think 3 of them were charmed, and so they're basically out of the fight. And the other 2 then we got into melee with. The barbarian was fighting one of them, and she was tanking it, and I was, because I'm the cleric, I'm healing her, which was working out really well. So we were doing that. The other one, I think the magic user was able to finally get Charm Monster on. and charmed it. And we took out the other ones. We took them. I took out them all. And once the barbarian, we had that one down. We were done. So luckily, oh, as a matter of fact, the killing blow. I think on two of them went to the thief. Um, uh, Xanadu is his name, played by Niels, which worked out really well because he was able to come up and backstab two of them for the killing blows. So everybody kind of got into the action a little bit there. And then after that was when we finally made it to the towers. And it turns out that these little goblin things that were being described to us, because they looked different, it was being described to us that they looked different. They're actually called, some of them are called gobbits, which are goblins and hobbits mixed. And then some of them are coblins, which are kobolds and goblins mixed. So we're, and there might have even been some cobbits, which are kobolds and hobbits. So goblin hobbits, kobold hobbits, and kobold goblins. That's what we were encountering. And we found this out because the magic user is a dual class magic user druid, or magic user ranger, sorry. Magic user ranger. And he has a giant owl as a companion. He sent his owl to the tower to basically do kind of a recon and start. The owl took some damage, but the owl was able to grab one of these little gobbit things and bring it back to us, and we interrogated it. Didn't get anything really useful out of it, but we got out of it that he wasn't a goblin and he wasn't a hobbit. He was a gobbit. So there's a new something new that I had never encountered before. But we knew that the black trolls were going to be coming out now that we had grabbed one of them off the tower. That these big guys were going to be coming after us. So we end up going in there and getting into a full fight with. They're shooting stuff down at us, and if I remember, our thief was using his he had gotten silver bullets for his sling, and he's using those on the tower little goblin hobbit things. And the trolls were coming out, and we're getting into melee with them. And this was a long fight. This was a hell of a fight because these things take a lot of damage because they heal quickly, even with the silver weapons. And I'm trying to heal people. Everybody else is trying to do damage. These things are regenerating, and it kept taking, and it was drawing on. We were making some progress, and at a certain point, if I remember, there was 3 of these trolls. 3 mind flayers appear behind each one of them and grab the trolls, and then they teleport away. They basically, the mind flayers rescued the trolls and teleported away. And now we have this. We're investigating this tower and the underground tunnels and so forth. That's what we have to do next, because that's where we had to stop for the night. So now we don't know what the purpose of this tower is here. Why is it here? Why are they doing this here? What's the purpose of these towers? And then there's underground involved too. So are they tunneled together or what? So that's where we left off. We did not get killed, luckily, by the trolls. Had it gone differently, I don't know that the mind flayers were obviously watching everything. And once they saw that it was going badly, they jumped in and rescued the trolls and teleported away. So, not sure where that's going. We're gonna have to find out. We're gonna tune in next week, kiddos. You know. So that's the campaign update. It was a fun session. A lot of combat. I don't see any questions here. So, let's see what we got here. Well, according to this, there's nobody else here. This says there's 4 people here, but the participants says it's just me. I don't know if everybody else dropped. I don't know if this live died out and I don't know it. If anybody's out there, please comment. Oh, Linda's still here. Okay. Very good. So now it's showing this. So I think what happens is if nobody comments for a certain amount of time, on the chat thing, the participants, it drops off. So I think because now that you commented, now you're showing up there again. So that's the only thing I can guess of because this number over here is showing 4. So there's okay, Chupa. Take care, man. Have a good game. Have a fun game. Anyway, so there's no questions about the campaign. We're going to go into a couple other different things. We already talked about the Raiders. So we've already had the football discussion. I missed that 8-Bit was talking about the Packers. Packers dumped their opener again. Yeah, who did they lose to? Was it the Vikings? Who were they playing? Or was it who did they lose to? I can't remember. Let's see. I didn't miss anything else. Okay. All right, cool. Let's talk a little bit about vacation. So my wife and I, we were celebrating our 30th anniversary, which was earlier in the year. But this was the first chance we had to go on and take a vacation. So we went and did that, went down to San Diego, stopped in Vegas overnight, which was unbearably hot. It just, I honestly don't know how people live there unless they can just live indoors 24/7 because going outside is ridiculous in that kind of heat. And I mean, even we were parked in a parking structure and it was over 100 degrees in the parking structure in the shade, at night. It didn't matter. Nothing matters. So we stayed at the Venetian. It was a nice hotel, nice rooms. Just an incredible amount of people because this was a Monday, I think. And all the kids are back in school. We specifically do our vacations when the kids are back in school to lessen the crowds. And it was ridiculous. There was people everywhere. Like you'd think it was a weekend or something, which tells me the weekends have to be completely bonkers. So so that was all we did. We didn't do much. We went and ate at our 9 Fine Irishman. I got my Guinness and my fish and chips. My wife got the burger that she loves their burger there. Got that. And then next day, zoom, we're out of there. And we head to San Diego. And San Diego was now I don't know if you guys follow me on TikTok. But I do post videos from time to time on TikTok, probably more than I do, obviously more than I do here, because they're just easier to do. Shorts on here are easy to do, but they're only like 15 seconds or something like that, or 30 seconds or something like that. Where with TikTok, you get to do 3-minute videos if you want to. So I did some vacation footage there from our hotel and all that. And we went to the Midway, the aircraft carrier, which was incredible. I cannot recommend that enough. If you have any interest in military history and military equipment and that type of thing, the USS Midway in San Diego is a must see. That needs to be a bucket list for anybody that's interested in that kind of stuff. Even my wife's not even really that interested in it. She had a ball with it. I mean, it's just, you have the whole run of this entire aircraft carrier. They have a restaurant on there and they serve beer. So I was able to have a beer on an aircraft carrier. So yeah, I can't complain about that. The weather was really nice, except even in San Diego, it was hot. It was 90 degrees. We thought down by the water, it'll be in the 70s. Breeze coming off the water. There was a little bit of a breeze, but it's still pretty damn hot. So vacation was good. And had a lot of fun there. Went to the Balboa Park, went to Old Town, did all the San Diego stuff you're supposed to, except for did not go to SeaWorld, did not go to the zoo. It was way too hot to do either one of those things. But everything else, we had a good time. So let's see. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Does anybody have any questions, topics they want? You guys want to talk about Rings of Power, Game of Thrones, whatever. What is it? Something of the Dragon. To me, it's just more Game of Thrones. So, House of the Dragon, I think. It's to me, it's like me being right back into Game of Thrones. Some people have issues with it and whatnot. I'm not having any issues. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. Matt Smith is knocking it out of the park. I think the rest of the casting is good, so I got no problems with any of it. So, Rings of Power is a little bit slow moving for me, but I'm hoping that they're still establishing everything, and I have a feeling things are going to pick up. So we'll have to wait and see. But the issues people are bringing up about political correctness, this and everything else, I couldn't care less. I could not care less if the characters are played by a black actor or actress or a white actor or actress. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have a problem with dark-skinned elves. I don't have a problem with dark-skinned dwarves. I don't have a problem with any of it. It doesn't bother me. So I don't think it should bother anybody. But for some reason, people are real butthurt about that type of stuff right now. So I'm fine with all the casting and all that. I got no problem with diversity. I think diversity we live in a diverse culture and a diverse society, so why not? Let's see what else. Anything else? Any other questions, comments? Because if not, I'm going to sit here and drink my beer and wait and see if anybody else pops in or has any questions. Anybody playing the beta of Dragonflight for WoW? I won't be involved with it until Bobby Cotter's gone, but if you want to talk about it, we can. Let's see. So there's 2 people in here. So Lindis is probably still here, and maybe Mistra. Chupa had to leave. I don't know about 8-bit. My buddy Chris was at the very beginning, but I think he's gone. So not seeing anything happening in chat here, so we may be calling this. Because I don't think there's any reason to just sit here and stare at the computer screen. You got any other questions, Lindis? Putting up shelving. Oof. Yeah, I've got some projects I need to do. I got one. We had a moderate earthquake a couple years ago, and as a result, it shifted the foundation just enough to where, like, the counter in our spare bathroom, in our guest bathroom, the counter basically kind of came away from the wall a little bit, and where the caulking was, it separated. So I need to strip the old caulking out and redo it, and so I've got that project I need to do. But it's one of those where it's like I'm gonna have to be in the right mood to do it. So, all right, guys. Well, we only went a half an hour, but that's the campaign update. that is the vacation update. I am doing fantasy football. So if anybody else is doing fantasy football, you can of course find me, on fantasy football, Greyhawk 4x4, obviously, and same thing with TikTok, Greyhawk 4x4. So, unless there's anything else, anybody's got questions or any topics, we're gonna call it there. When is the new D&D movie coming out? That is a good question. I know it is 2023, but I don't know when. Let's find out. Alrighty, let's see. It says 2023, release date March 3rd. There's your answer. If they don't change it, I'm hoping it's good. I was cautiously optimistic about the trailer, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they do a good job with it. Now, in related news, because I didn't have any internet yesterday all day, I ended up watching. I don't know, Lindis, do you know about the Dragonlance movie? They made a Dragonlance animated movie. I want to say 2003, I think it was. Oh, you've got it. Okay. So I watched that for the first. I'd never seen it before, and it was not very good. Yeah, the animation was, and I don't know, 2003. I think better animation technology existed in 2003 than what we saw. What we saw in the movie. So, and it was Raceland was voiced by Kiefer Sutherland, and was it Gold Moon? Gold Moon was voiced by Lucy Lawless. So I mean, they had some talent, voice talent there, but I think the animation was just not great. So, that's just my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I own it, and there might be a time in the future where I just have a hankering for some Dragonlance and decide to watch it again. Who knows? But it's part of my collection, so I'm glad I have it. But anyway, yeah. Other than that, yeah, March of 2020 of next year is when the D&D movie is supposed to come out. So, and I probably will go to the theater for that. I don't go to the theater very often, but I will for the D&D movie. So, all right. Oh, by the way, I tried this stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is that Coca-Cola Dream World flavor, limited edition Dream World flavor. It's not showing it. There's too much glare, but there you go. Dream World. And it says dream flavored. It ain't my thing. My wife thinks, she tasted it. She says it tastes like the candy Smarties, the little sugary candy Smarties. She thinks it tastes like that. To me, I get an obvious hint of ginger, like ginger ale, ginger beer, that type of thing, and some, like, just basically sugar and ginger, and so it's not my thing. I'll somehow finish this. I'll choke it down or whatever. But as you can see, I'm enjoying a $4 beer. So, and by the way, even though I did complain about it, I did read up on this on the back here, and this isn't one of those that is brewed here in the United States, even though it says imported. No, this is brewed in Munich. So it came all the way from Munich. And it is brewed and bottled by Hofbrau in Munich, Germany. And so that's why it's so expensive. I'm sure that's the reason. So, knowing that, I feel a little bit better that I paid $4 a bottle for it. What I don't like is the fact that it's 11.2 fluid ounces instead of 12 ounces. That's just they're screwing people there. So, That's that shrinkflation shit where everything's getting smaller and the price is continuing to go up even though products are getting smaller. So alcohol content is, I believe, 5.1. That's what I read. Alcohol 5.1 by volume. Yep. I have no idea if you guys will be able to read the label, but I'll just put it there if you guys want to. That's not gonna. It probably is not going to. It might. There you go. It actually focused a little bit. So of course it's backwards probably, but um, it's delicious beer. It's delicious German beer. So that I am looking for. I got one of these in the fridge too, getting cold. One of the Oktoberfest. That one I'm really looking forward to. All right, guys. Well, I think it's just you, Chupa. I have a feel. Or Chupa, Lindis. I have a feeling it's just you. So unless anybody else got anything, I am gonna check out. Probably go watch a movie with the wife or something. Have some dinner or whatever. So, all right, guys, we're gonna call it there. And I'm trying to think. I'll try and look. Don't stay away so long as well. I was on vacation, so I don't. I usually don't post during vacation, but unless I do like shorts or something like that. But anyway, all right, guys, we will catch you on the flip side.